Hi, welcome to one of my filters that I recently created. It's called Roller Coaster. It's ready and live. You can find it on my profile on Instagram. The good thing about this filter is that the point of view, and this is what the tutorial is going to be about. So, just want to introduce that our cart is supposed to be stationary, and then the track is supposed to be moving. And initially we don't get for a lot of such objects and animations, and this is what this tutorial is going to be about. So won't take much of time, and you can jump in. Good luck. Hello, welcome back to one of my tutorials. Today we're gonna talk about change of point of view of the camera, like how your scene would look like if you're kind of standing at the camera or any place you want inside the scene. So basically viewing your entire scene from a different point is what this tutorial is going to be about. Please check out my other tutorials. I don't have many, but there's one that you should definitely check out. That's SDF, about SDF, like how to use them, and it results into a very good kind of mask, and you could do like many things with it. First, let me tell you the application of the changing the point of view. I guess, yeah. Okay, so this is the filter that I recently was working on, and I've completed it. I was waiting for the card. So at the moment, this is the track. This is the entire track, and I'm supposed to move my card on this track. But the animation that I got from the library is that the cart is moving on this track, not the track is moving. So if my camera is fixed, if I see my camera that is fixed, like it's not moving, so I can't really move with the card. But with certain changes and few enhancements in this, we kind of reached a position where we could change the point of view in terms of that the cart is stationary but the track is moving along, and that's how we achieved it. And this is what we're gonna talk about. This opens up immense possibilities to do many things with Spark AR. So let's jump right in. Alright, so welcome back. I'm gonna show you two examples in this tutorial. One example is just a straight road, and first we're moving, the object is moving on the road, but the road is stationary. And using this tutorial, the technique that we want to use to change the point of view is that I stand at the position, the object stand at a position, and the road starts moving from one position to the other end. So basically the track becomes the object and the object becomes the track, right? So for an example, this is one of the things that we're going to achieve. Here initially this bike is moving. It appears to be moving, but it isn't actually. The track is moving, and then this is what we want to achieve. So let's just try jump in. I'm gonna do things from the start. All that's pretty simple, but let's do things from start again. Alright, we're gonna want to have a null object that I'm just gonna name it to example tute. Then we would want a track to have it. It's just better to rename the objects in a way that they make sense to you. Okay. Then we want to have an object which is going to be like stationary. So we're going to call it maybe the car, like whatever. Give it a scene, put it a scene object, and put both the things into the scene. So this is going to be my scene. My scene would have the track and the car. The track that I want is, we can have a null object, give it a 90-degree rotation so it's like lying down, put it into the z direction. That should be like giving it 20. This is a track, and I'm going to give you a material that is my base. I've added the road texture on it, so basically this is going to be a simple road texture. It is not visible right now because this is entirely stable. If we give it a rotation, then we might be able to see it, but we'll do that later on. First, we want the simple things. I think we're able to see it here. Okay. The first thing about changing the point of view is that this is why we're using null objects, that we wanna have the end point of this to like where the camera is. So I moved it ahead, and the kind of now this road starts from here. Okay. The car would have an object which we can just give it any object, like test object, whatever, because we're not going to use it anyway. So we're just like keeping it a reference that okay, this is moving, this is not moving. I'm gonna like give it a very random material. Okay. Or maybe give it like OBJ's plain object again. Now we're gonna quickly move this object into Y direction. Okay. So to Z direction. Sorry. Take out the position. We do loop animation. This loop animation should give me a transition which goes from 0 to -2, and yeah, just give me a little slow transition, give me a mirror as well. So my scene now comprises of this object moving from here to there and coming back. It doesn't matter what kind of object this is, because you're gonna see that we're just creating a test scene where whatever I put in the car can be my object. If I put a 3D model in this car, should be behaving like the way the car is behaving. But we just right now at the moment we're just creating an example, but we'll later see that this application is pretty helpful. Okay. Alright, we have this animation now. What we essentially want now is that this track moves, not this object. So that's my point of view. If I'm standing on this object, on this white object, I should be able to see what's the scene is going to be for me, is that the road is coming towards me, and when I'm coming back it's going away. So that's how it's supposed to be. To do that, we just use the local transform patch on this object, and we're gonna say that okay, whatever the position that this object is having. So if this object is going 1 point ahead, I want my road to come 1 point behind. If I'm moving forward 5 steps, I want my road to take 5 steps in the back direction, and I don't want to move. In that case, what I want to do is I want to multiply it with -1. Let's not multiply it for -1 right now. Let's see what happens if I just give this position to my track. So if I do that, my track moves with it. So you see that so right now everything is stationary for me. If I'm standing on the track, the theory of relativity says that I won't see anything else moving if I'm just looking at the road. I will be stationary, right? So this is what I did. I kind of made myself stationary. But I don't want that. I want to be stationary. That should it should be like, but if I look beyond the road, I'm actually not stationary, I'm moving. But with respect to road, I am quite stationary right now. So with respect to road, I want to be running 2x, like kind of. So if you see from the relative motion, the speed of this white object is right now is 2x from it originally was. Basically, we kind of multiplied the speed relatively. But if you see that this is my starting point and this is my ending point, the road is going completely away in the other direction, and so this is pretty much I wanted from the road. The next step for me is to make this object stationary. Well, how to do that? We just duplicate this and hide this object. You have your scene ready. So from the test object, we created a copy which is not moving. So essentially, we took all the moving properties, the transform properties from the object which we animated. Like this was the animation that we added, and we applied the animation to the track, which is kind of creating a fake camera movement right now. So this is a very simple use case, right? There's nothing beyond or into this. But what if I kind of have a rotation in the track, or my car kind of wants to, is looking up. If I'm looking up, or if I'm looking down, that's not working here, right? Alright, so that was it for the position. We kind of have the position. Now if you want to manipulate the rotation, we could do that as well. We could copy its rotation to the car's rotation, or I should say maybe the entire scene's rotation, because we kind of want to have the same kind of rotation for both of them. If a track is coming towards me and if I rotate like this, I should be able to rotate the track like this, but in a negative direction. So I would say -1, multiply it by the entire scene, and then cancel out my rotation of the car, because I don't want car to move out at all. So yeah, that should give me a pretty good point of view now. You see it kind of makes sense. This was fairly simple example. Let's get into one of the a little bit complex, not complex, but like a little bit of better approach towards point of view. Okay. All right. I have this example already created here, but I am going to teach step by step. So I hope that's okay. Yeah. It's not complicated, but just we have rotation in the consideration, so that like how to understand the rotation better. What if this path is not just straight path? What if this path has a 90-degree turn, or a 45-degree turn, or a 30-degree turn? Whatever kind of turns it has, it doesn't really matter. But we wanna like explain it, understand it better, and I wanna like explain it better. All right, so I have. All right, let me just walk you through the plane. This example 2 has a scene, and like this one track, and this the kernel object. This is the track. So it's a combination of 4 different planes. Right there, plane 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. They're having different rotation and some scaling values, just to be right here like this. Then I have my plane object. This object is kind of moving. I have this function that I made for this, that this is moving into certain direction like this first, and then taking a right, then taking left, and then like that. So after every track is completed, it's gonna take a rotation, and let's see how that goes. It's like this again. Yeah. Yep. So instead of moving my object like that, I can't really move my camera with it, right? So that's where the application comes. I wanna have an understanding. I have implementation where the road is coming towards me when I wanna go ahead, and when I'm taking a right, the entire road is taking left for me. All right, so this is what we want to do, and then we're going to do the same thing that we learned in the past example. For the position, we took the object's position. Okay, so we don't want to show that plane again, right? We don't want this to show first, so go away. All right, you come here, which is just a copy of this plane, and it just has a material, that's it. When I click on it, that object goes away from here, but it's not shown right now, that is why you can't see it, but like that's going there. Okay, but so I want that position and apply it in the negative direction to my track 2, and this is my track 2, which is a combination of whatever you put it in here it's gonna follow negatively whatever my object is following. So I multiplied it by -1 and just give it. So see it in action, okay? And then notice that what's happening. How consider yourself that you're standing as in this object. You are this object, okay? I just clicked it, okay? Understanding. This is not happening. The rotation is not taking the picture. What we're doing is that we're just moving like this. So that won't be true that I walk like this, but then I walk like that. That's not gonna happen. I think we should take the rotation values in consideration. So if I take the entire scene as a rotation, we're gonna discuss on that. So we take the rotation value multiplied by -1 and give it to the rotation. There's no need to add it anything, just for experimenting, right? So now I click on it and this should have the rotation. Yep, it's having all the rotation with us, right? Perfect. This is what we wanted, but we also want that our car too should rotate with us, when we what's happening right now. Let's see again. We're going like this, and then when we're moving, we're moving this as well, because the entire thing is moving, right? So we can take this car's rotation and change it back to its original one again, okay? So that it seems more real, right? Now we are stationary. We seem more stationary now, right? But we were rotating, but we're cancelling out the rotation that the entire scene is giving us. Alright, so the first rotation was given to us by object's rotation to the scene's rotation. So we were having the rotation in negative direction. So we were not having the rotation at all. But then we cancelled out the rotation that scene was giving us, and now we appear to be stationary. We're not stationary, we're moving, but we appear to be stationary in the scene. So this is faking the camera point of view. I hope that makes sense. Yep, that's pretty much it. The hack would be that you have a track, one object, you have another null, which is your car, whatever. Now notice this, we just took one part of this null object, the cars object, and we just created that copy. Even if you don't have this copy, like we'll hide both of these, we could add anything here. We could add a bike. You don't have to create a copy of bike. You don't have to create anything at all extra. What we just need to do is just play it, and this will follow, because we kind of don't have any dependencies which should stop us. Yep, perfect. This is it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Just keep it very basic. Kind of want to maybe convert it into a patch where you have a track, one output, you have the entire scene as another output, and you have the car. So basically the scene is the main object and track and car are the sub objects. So yeah, the track has the position output and the scene and the car has the rotation output. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions or if any suggestions to improve this. I really hope this opens up many immense possibilities, because the changing of point of view is the next I'm thinking is like, just one of the thoughts is that the solar system, right? We create a model where there's the sun and there's every other planet around us, and we kind of want to see that how does it to be there on any other planet. So what if you're standing on Earth, and what if you're standing on Mercury? Then how do the things look like? So it's going to be very interesting if you do that using this. This is super nice, and let me know what you make. Let me know if you kind of add some sort of functionalities to this, how you utilize this, or share with the community. Thank you so much if you stayed till the end, and I'll see you in the community. Bye.